All right, hello everyone, and welcome. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to those on the stream and those also watching this on demand on YouTube. Today is Thursday, February 4th, 2016. And today marks the start of a marathon of sorts for me, because for today and the next several days, I will be playing Yakuza 5 exclusively here on stream until the game's completion, or in the very, very slim chance that this happens, until the new releases come out on February 9th, which is a Tuesday. Now, here's the deal. My hope is that if I'm playing this game, 3 to 3.5 hours of gameplay starting today and every day until then, that I will be able to wrap it up and complete the game by the end of Monday. All right. I even said, if you actually look at my daily schedule update, which I put out last night on Twitter, that on Monday, if I don't finish it on first stream, I'm actually willing to do a second stream just to try to finish it up. Now, I don't know how much more is left in the game. I do know that I am playing in the final chapter for the introduction of new characters, and we've really just scraped the ice here, with the icing on the cake, with this Shinada character, the former baseball player who it sounds like was framed and had a game fixing blamed on him, which basically knocked him out of professional baseball, turned him into kind of almost a bum, an adult entertainment writer. He's down on his luck, and he's got all this stuff now, this conspiracies and Yakuza stuff being tied into his plot line, which is kind of interesting. Okay? So I don't know how long his plotline is. And then I believe the game will have a final chapter and or section where all of these characters, Kazuma, Saejima, Akiyama, and Haruka, and of course Shinada will all probably come together for the big conclusion of the game, a la Yakuza 4. At least I'm assuming. I don't know, because as you know, when I play these games, I play them cold. I'm not using a walkthrough or anything, so I really don't know, but that's what I'm assuming based off of the last game. So, being that we have, the entire section of Shinada to really still do, I'm figuring probably 2 to 3 sessions for that, right? And then I'm figuring the conclusion will probably be a few hours, so I'm hoping that by the end of Monday, I'm able to conclude Yakuza 5. That's kind of the goal here. Now, if by some freak chance I don't complete Yakuza 5 by the end of Monday, unfortunately, it is going to go on hold, but I am going to finish it. At this point, I've invested so much time into this game. There's absolutely no way that I'm not going to finish it. It just might have to wait for a little bit, since there are so many new releases coming out starting this week, including the new Naruto game, the new Unravel platformer game that I'm very interested in. If I have time this week, I also want to check out Firewatch. The week after that is the launch of Street Fighter V, which is going to probably take up my entire freaking week, just because I know how hype I'm going to be for that game and how much I'm going to want to play it all the time. And then there's 2 more games by the end of the month. So just giving you some perspective here, there's going to be tons of stuff going on. And, I want to finish Yakuza, but I have to have time to do it. So it may have to hold. But I think playing it today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I should be able to complete it. All right? Now, the plan is that if I do complete it by the end of my gameplay stream on Monday, then Monday night, I'm actually going to be putting together a mini review of Yakuza 5. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I actually started this new series last night, by which when I play a game that maybe isn't a new release, and it doesn't warrant necessarily a full Hateful Truth review, because it's not a brand new game. So here's an example. A DLC release, a DLC story, a DLC map pack for a game. If I play it, I'll do a mini review of it, so you know my opinion, but it's not going to warrant a full, Hateful Truth review, because there's not that much to go in depth into, okay? In the case of Yakuza 5, Yakuza 5 has been out in Japan since 2012. I don't know how many of you know that. That's how old this game actually is. It's a 4-year-old game, but it just got ported for Western audiences in English back in December. So as you know, I've been playing it for about a month and a half now, finally nearing the conclusion here. And what I would like to do is at least take some time to give my opinions on the game, because I actually do have some unique opinions on the game in comparison to Yakuza 4. So I think what I will do on Monday night, if I have a chance, I will do a mini review, which will be, roughly 5 to 10 minute long review going through the things of the game that I liked and I didn't like and give you my overall opinion. It won't necessarily go crazy into detail like a Hateful Truth review will do, because the bottom line is, Yakuza 5 is not a new game. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of me comparing it to other games and stuff that are out right now when it wouldn't be a valid frame of reference? The game's 4 years old. So obviously it wouldn't be a legit reference. So that's what I'm planning on doing. And that would be some more fun content for KO Gaming, my new gaming channel on YouTube. If you're not aware, last night I actually put together a mini review for the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Awakening DLC, which I played all day on Tuesday, including the new zombie map, as well as the 4 multiplayer maps. And I took all that footage and slapped it together into a mini review. I had a mixed opinion on that DLC release. And those who've seen it so far, it's only been out for around, I think, like 12, 13 hours. Those who've seen it really liked it. They say, wow, this is great. We love this kind of content. Can't wait to see this come out for newer stuff in the future. Right now, the bottom line is it's been very slow because there haven't been any real new releases. I think starting this week, things will pick up in a big way. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to covering the new releases, reviewing them, doing the weekly montages with videos from those new releases. I think that'll get a lot more interest over on KO Gaming. Right now, it's kind of stagnant because I'm just kind of doing the same stuff, So it's hard to grab new interest when you're playing old games. And I've known that from experience. So if you haven't seen it yet, check it out at youtube.com/KO Gaming 1. That's how you get to the new YouTube channel. And actually, this Friday will be the next Hits of the Week, where I'm going to be taking the highlighted best, worst, most entertaining moments from this week's gameplay, which includes Yakuza 5, which includes the Black Ops 3 new zombie map and multiplayer maps, and my pacifist run through Undertale, which had some pretty memorable moments as well. And I apologize for the snorting. It's really bothering me, too. My nasal drip still is not giving up. It's really pissing me off. I was fine. I was fine until I got sick like 3 weeks ago. I was perfectly fine. My sinuses were good. And now every day I wake up and they're like, bleh. It's pissing me off, but at this point, it's probably not going to go away till the spring, because it is cold every day now. I'm even using humidifiers and everything at night, and it's still not going away. So it is what it is, and I apologize for that, okay? All right, so anyway. Yes, all that new stuff over on KO Gaming. I surely hope you'll check it out. Also, keep in mind my increase in vlogging, which seems to have been massively successful. In the past week, in particular, I've put out tons of vlogs on the King of Hate vlogs in regards to current events, in regards to my reactions to pop culture stuff, and stuff going on YouTube. And people really seem to like the increase in vlogging. So that is cool. And if there is another reason to keep doing increased vlogging, like stuff keeps happening, then I'll do it. In particular, there's going to be a new DSP Tries It this Saturday. Obviously, the weekend preview will be Sunday as usual. And we'll see what happens this week in regards to other stuff. If there's anything else that I could squeeze in there that would make sense this coming week, we'll have to see. But I have good news for everyone on today's pre-stream. I have very good news for everyone. As you know, it is now the 4th of February, which means that my Patreon drive for the month of January closed 4 days ago. And things were a little uncertain in regards to if we were going to hit the monthly goal, because I had 30 people who were declined. We had a record amount of people pledging. We also had the record highest amount of people who were declined. In fact, I actually have a couple people who have contacted me personally apologizing and saying they don't know what's wrong, that their information on Patreon seems to be correct, and they have no idea why their pledges aren't going through. They're very confused and upset because they wanted to be in on this month's stuff. And I've told them, really, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. They could like, directly send me stuff via PayPal, but that's kind of weird and underhanded, and for tax purposes, too, that's a nightmare. So, it happens. I don't know what happened, but the good news that I have for everyone. This is breaking news. I have not told anyone this yet. Haven't announced it on Twitter. It is official. We have hit the goal level for January funding on Patreon, which means the Patron's Choice playthrough will occur. That's great news. So this coming weekend, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up on the forums the thread by which patrons who donated, it's not a donation, and I need to stop saying that. It is a taxable income for me. It's not considered a donation per the United States government. They think that it's just valid income. But anyway, per the pledges, anyone who pledged $5 or more in the month of January will be able to nominate a game for the Patron's Choice. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. And that means that come mid-March, I will be starting up whatever they vote on. So there'll be nominations for the next month or so on the kingofhate.com forums, and then there'll be a poll by which the patrons will be voting, and we're going to see what the next Patron's Choice playthrough will be. Now, I'm curious because there's been so many different games that people have wanted me to play in the past few months, and I've been basically saying, well, I'm sorry, guys, because, I've been too busy either covering new stuff or doing stuff that people have wanted for a long time, or just doing ongoing playthroughs. For example, Yakuza 5 here, which I've been playing for a month and a half, and I'm still not done with it right. So, there's tons of games that people have been, asking me to play, like Mafia. Since Mafia 3 is coming out, people want to see me play the original Mafia. Some people have said stuff like Xenoblade Chronicles X and Persona 3, although quite honestly, I'll be honest with everyone, I don't think this would be the time to play those games, being that there's so many new releases coming out in the next few months. Starting a long, drawn-out RPG is probably not a good idea, I'm just saying. Some people have said a game like Darkest Dungeon, an indie game. Some people have said The Witness, which I skipped because I was busy playing Undertale. Some have said Undertale, what's it called? Genocidal Run. The third and final way to play the game, which I did not do, that they'd like to see me do that, which is interesting, okay? Also, just in the stream chat, this very moment, people said, what about No More Heroes 2? Doesn't Phil own that game? The answer is yes, I do. I have it. And someone said, what about Borderlands, the pre-sequel? So there's tons of games that could be suggested and nominated. So if you were a $5 patron in the month of January, be on the lookout. This weekend is when I'm going to set up the forums. And in addition, I'm going to be sending out messages to everyone on Patreon saying, thanks for pledging in January. Here's the information I need from you to get your perks, in effect. So, for example, to get your forum account upgraded so that you can actually nominate those games. I'll be working on that this weekend. So, this coming week, check your PM inboxes on Patreon if you did pledge in the month of January. And we'll get that stuff going. All right? So, that's great news. I love doing Patron's Choice. If you remember last year, I played Minecraft, then I did Persona 4, and then I did Fallout New Vegas, a second run through it. And I absolutely loved doing all three of those games. I thought that they were fun. They gave me perspective into stuff that previously I had never played before, or gave me a second chance to play through a game that I really loved when I played it the first time, and it got us all, geared up for the impending release of Fallout 4, which was an awesome event. By far, Fallout 4 was the most successful event of 2015 for me, so I'm very pleased that I was able to do Fallout New Vegas beforehand. So, more info on that will be hitting shortly. That's the good news that I wanted to share with everyone. I'm very pleased with that. In addition, taking a look at my initiative this year of doing my 3-channel model, it looks like so far so good, even though it's been slow. That's the thing. January was a very slow month for gaming. So far so good. I'm pleased with the performance. At this point, I think I've got over 4,600 subscribers on KO Gaming. I'd like to have 5,000. I'm just saying. I have over 180,000 subscribers on DSPGaming and over 30,000 on the King of Hate Vlogs. You would think I could get 5,000 subscribers over on KO Gaming. considering the fact that the videos I'm putting up there are getting more than 5,000 views a week. But I digress. It's doing well for not covering anything new. I think once I start playing new games, I'm reviewing new games and covering new stuff, first impressions on new games and stuff, people are really going to like the channel a lot more, and it's going to pick up over there. The increase in vlogging is doing very well. I've been getting a lot more viewership on the King of Hate vlogs than I did in 2015. Just within the 2 weeks that I've done the increased vlogging, people really seem to be enjoying and adopting it, and I'm getting more subs than ever before on the King of Hate vlogs. So that's a good sign, right? It's a good sign of positive growth and that people are liking the changes I'm instituting. But the other good news is that on DSPGaming itself, okay, the channel that is the core of all of my content, that has the daily live streams, that has the daily gameplay, I'm still getting the same kind of viewership. It's not like the viewership has waned on one channel to jump to the others. It's actually doing good. And even though, this month was, I shouldn't say this month anymore. I should say January. Even though January was a rough month because it was the first month that I was in my new machinima contract, the viewership stayed steady. And I'm surprised because I really thought that viewership was going to dip off in January. Because after I finished my Game of the Year awards and stuff like that, there wasn't really much to cover. I kept playing Yakuza 5. I played Resident Evil 0 Remastered, which I didn't think would get much attention because it wasn't technically a new release. It was a re-release. And Undertale was a game that people really liked in 2015 and certainly wasn't as popular at this point. It was more of a hardcore fan base that really wanted to see me play that game. But the good news is, yeah, DSPGaming retained some pretty good viewership too. So let me put it this way. If when the new releases come out, starting next week, if I could keep this amount of attention with the hardcore fans who watch everything I do, and the natural influx of views that I'm going to get from people watching the new gameplay and the new content and the new games, I think this year could turn out to be very good. There's a lot of things in effect. Patreon is helping out a lot. I'll be honest, January was a very nice month for me with Patreon, and I'm hoping we can stay on that pattern because I really need that support this year, unlike last year where it was more of just periphery stuff for me to improve my setup. This year I need it to pay my bills. So that's been really good. And I just want to throw this out there. I have an Amazon Associates link now in the description of all of my videos and in the description of this stream. So, you're watching the stream, you're enjoying the content, and you actually shop on Amazon.com, please use that link. And, all these things combined this year, the Amazon Associate link, the Patreon, the steady viewership, I think if we can keep all this going, it's going to be a very positive year. And I'm very excited about that. I am. I'm really looking forward to that. And I hope that you will obviously continue to watch and continue to come out for the streams. I'm really appreciative of those of you who come out on a day like today. Because, today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, even Monday are going to be Yakuza 5. This is a game playthrough that's not resonating with the mainstream viewers. It's basically for a very select group of people who, number one, either like to watch everything that I play, or number two, really like the Yakuza series and are happy that I'm taking the time to play it, even though, let's face it, there's not a lot of people watching. Right? Let's be honest here. And I'm happy that I am my own boss, and I'm able to make executive decisions like this and say, I don't care that it's not getting a lot of views. I'm going to basically, say I'm in this for the long haul, and I'm going to trust in my viewers that they're going to come out and they're going to watch the more popular, hyped mainstream games when they're released, and it's going to make up for the fact that when I play a game like Yakuza 5, that there's not tons of viewership. You know what I mean? It'll even out in the long run. That's what I'm really looking to do here. And I'm going to say this. There's people who I saw in video comments, people who've been saying on Twitter, Phil will not finish Yakuza 5. Phil is going to drop Yakuza 5 in order to play more popular new games for the views. Phil's only in it for the views. He doesn't care about the games he plays, yada, 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 the usual negative spiel. So to those people who always like to say nasty shit about me, I will say this. Neener, 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 you can suck my wiener. Because I am going to keep playing Yakuza 5 and beat it this weekend. I could be doing other popular stuff. Tons of people have asked me to play The Witness. Tons of people have asked me to play The Division Beta. Last weekend, everyone was like, why didn't you play the Street Fighter 5 Beta? Why didn't you do this and this and this that would have gotten you more views? And my answer, quite honestly, is I don't care. I'm here to play the games that I want to play and have fun playing them. I'm here to play the things that people have asked me to play for a long time. I don't care about what's the new viral hit, what's the new popular shit for the moment, the flash in the pan. I'm here to enjoy gaming. God damn it. Neener. I'm going to play Yakuza 5, and if you don't like it, that's perfectly fine. You can come back next week when I'll be playing Naruto, when I'll be playing Unravel, when I may be playing Firewatch. You can come back in 2 weeks when I play Street Fighter 5. And as long as you come back and you watch what you want to watch, it all works out. Neener. Of course, I'm just kidding. I'm messing around, but, that's just the point I'm making, is that's why I'm different from, these other people. Phil, I can't believe it. Every single YouTuber is doing this one flash-in-the-pan popular thing, and Phil isn't. No, I'm pretty sure that most YouTubers aren't doing a full playthrough of Yakuza 5. That's okay. I'll do one. I enjoy being different. I'm not saying I'm better. I'm saying I'm different. And that's a good thing. To be an individual. To have an identity. To do things you want to do. Rather than always be bogged down by the confines of what's popular or what's going to make tons of money. You know what I mean? All right. So, we're going to begin in just a minute here. All right. And I don't have too much else to say on the pre-stream because, I can't really plug my Patreon because it just, they're still they're still processing pledges from January, and I won't really have an update on what the goal will be for this month for at least for another week or two. I do actually have a really good idea of what I want to do for the goal this month. And no, it won't be another Rockathon. That's not going to happen for a while, but I think I'm going to give people an option to vote again. I always like giving people an option to vote. And I have 3 different things that I think I'll give people the option to vote on, and we'll see what happens with that. For the next Patron's Choice Special. Or not Patron's Choice Special, but the next Patron Goal Special is what I meant to say. But, you can always check out patreon.com/DarksidePhil. And, of course, there is my girlfriend's business, The Black Current, where she sells handmade glycerin soaps and wax tart melts. This business has almost been in business for a year now. In fact, I think it's a couple more weeks will be her 1-year anniversary. She's had over 140 orders. She sold hundreds of pieces of product, and people absolutely love it. Every review she's gotten on Etsy has been a positive one. Yes, it is on Etsy, by the way. Etsy.com/shop/The Black Current. And right now, we're actually in development of her new line of products, which will be coming out for the spring. In fact, she told me in the next week or so, we'll be sitting down to sniff. We do this about once every season. So we'll be sitting down and sniff a bunch of scents and say, gee, where are the good scents for a new line of product for coming up in the spring? What's a more springtime scent? And then once we narrow it down to a certain number, then she's going to order her new supplies, new product, to start making the next line for the spring. All right? So the soaps she makes are great. They're much better than the stuff you buy in the store, typically. Most stuff you buy in the store that's cheap is just a detergent bar. It's not even real soap. And it either dries out your skin or makes it real oily. It's not good for your skin. That's why it's so cheap. This is high-grade stuff, great quality scents. Basically, it's kind of like the gourmet of soaps, although if you eat it, you'll probably get sick, so I don't recommend that. She also makes wax tart melts that will make your house smell great, but don't pose a fire hazard like a candle would. And I can personally attest to the quality of her products because I use her soaps exclusively. I took a shower last night with one. It was a Moroccan mint and chocolate mix. It looks like a little mint peanut butter cup, and man, was it good. It is a nice soap. I love it. It makes me feel refreshed when I'm done washing. And actually, if you can believe it, last night we actually melted a wax tart melt in our bedroom, which was also Moroccan mint, and that smelled great. So check it out at etsy.com/shop/The Black Current. Of course, people ask, why do you plug this? It's very simple, because anything you order from there benefits me directly as well, considering that we live together and we pay the same bills. Just saying, kind of common sense there. All right. So, everyone, I thank you for being patient, and I hopefully you will enjoy today's gameplay stream, which is about to begin. 3.5 hours of Yakuza 5 on the stream. Thank you for being patient, and let us begin with the marathon, because, like I said, Yakuza 5 will be the next several days as we attempt to finish the game. Let's see how it goes. Thank you, everyone, and let's begin.